Hey Rory,
What's on?
do you know people aren't allowed to laugh loudly in Hawaii?
They're not allowed to laugh loudly in Hawaii. No.
Nah, it's just aloha.
Oh, that was a good one. Aloha. Oh, that's really good. Oh, that tickled me. That was a really good one.
Well, I guess aloha, listeners, and welcome to episode 9 of that class. We're slowly creeping up on one of our major birthdays. As always, this is your favourite podcast, hosted by two of your favourite class holes. My name is Duncan Malcolm. With me today is Ruaridh Kidd. How are you, Rory?
Today and always.
Today and always.
I'm good. It's my second week back coaching again. The sun's out, although we have gale force winds.
Oh,
It's
you're
nice.
40-mile-an-hour winds this afternoon. You've got a lesson, so the next one you won't be in a room like you're in just now. It'll be on a beach somewhere where you've been blown across the Atlantic Ocean.
Exactly. I might be in America somewhere, or some unknown island that someone hasn't found yet. Hopefully with a microphone and some Wi-Fi.
Where's Rory? He blew away.
Blew away. To be
He blew
fair,
away. We lost him.
I'd like to blow away from this country right now because I just need to get out. We're so close to having lockdown lifted, and actually, we're close. You guys are close to having pubs open. Pubs open when this pod comes out. Is that
Pod
right?
comes out. Yeah. Because remember we said that hopefully people will be listening in the pub.
Yeah.
So
They should play it in the pub speakers. Just us
they
having
should,
a chat.
100%. Yes.
That'd be awful.
And the pub can get it legitimately from pretty much anywhere you can get your podcasts.
Great segue.
Spotify, iTunes. Oh, it's good, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Yep. Give it 2 wheels. That was a segue. And you can always find it on YouTube on Wednesday if you want to watch rather than just listen. Put faces to names. Instant regret.
Instant regret.
Never know if it's summer. Hopefully, it will actually not look like all pasty and stuff, and like won't match the color of the walls. And,
yeah. I know. You're slowly like merging into the wall in the background.
It's pretty bad.
Whereas I've got quite a nice for audio listeners. If you jump on YouTube, I've got quite a nice orange hue going on.
Oh.
Which could be the fact that I've been in the sun a lot, and also I have a light right here, and it's quite orange. It's making me look
I saw a red light earlier.
Slightly more tanned than I actually am.
Fake news.
But
fake news is not that tan at all.
The YouTube stuff I've noticed, we're getting a couple views, which is nice because we're not really pushing the YouTube thing. We're more pushing the audio. The only person I know that watches it is Gemma.
Gemma watched it 4 times.
She might get excited now that we've mentioned her name. Hi, Gemma.
Hi, Gemma.
So yeah,
that's weird.
Drop us a 5-star review. Is that right, Duncan?
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, if you do like what you listen, which you should, if you're on episode 9 and you're still listening, then hopefully you leave 5 stars wherever possible. If there's a button that says like, click it. If there's a button that says subscribe, click it.
Click it. Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
Let your friends know.
Our outreach for us.
Yes. We need more people to listen. Do we really need it? Nah, not really. We'll keep doing it anyway.
We'll keep doing it anyway. Someone needs to. We need an outlet.
Yeah, exactly. In other news, I have managed to brew myself my own cold brew, like the hipster I am becoming.
Oh, you'll be living in a van next. That's good.
Funny you should say that.
You need cold brew there because you'll have no power.
Yeah, exactly.
Effectively homeless.
Lucy installed her soundproofing. She's got plywood flooring coming, as well as like a vinyl floor. She's got the insulation she's going to put that in herself. She got windows cut out of the sides already, and she's got a guy doing the electrics, so we'll have some lights above us, and we'll have some USB sockets and things as well. Nice. It's all coming together.
Nice.
So yeah, I will be this sort of weird hipster cold brew guy that'll do a podcast from a van one day, probably.
What podcast from a van? He'll have a tinfoil hat on. He would tell us about how the birds aren't real.
Yeah,
Just drones for the government, man.
What movie is that? Is John Malkovich is like that in a movie, but I can't remember what it is. Is it Burn After Reading?
Maybe.
He's like he wears a tinfoil. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about real news. What's
Real
the
news.
big news topics for this week? We missed a week. Obviously, if you listened to last week, we played you a pre-recorded podcast about our MCU ranking, and it merges actually quite nicely into this topic if you've read the title of this podcast. But we've got some news to catch up on because we missed a week of news. So what's your first topic of news,
What's
Duncan?
the first topic? First topic, we should just... Let's start with Fast and Furious 9.
Yeah. Or just F9 they're calling it now. They don't even need
F9.
to brand it.
No, it's
just called F9.
Vin Diesel in a car. Okay,
What does
cool.
F9 do on a computer?
I don't actually know. I don't even want to press it right now because we're
not right
recording.
now.
It could do something crazy. That trailer came out. That looks... basically we've seen the whole film. And...
Yeah, I know. They kind of just show you everything now. It's amazing to see how much Fast and Furious has changed since the first one. Or even, I guess, the first three.
Since it was Point Break with cars.
Yeah, it was Point Break with cars, albeit Point Break, a more superior movie. And it was just racing and family, I guess.
Yeah.
But now it's family, and it's kind of like it's become self-aware, I think. And they know that they're, in a better pun, ludicrous. It looks fun.
There.
I think I'm probably going to go see it.
I think it's
a Fast and Furious movie. I'll have a good time.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's the same principle as like King Kong versus Godzilla. You're not going to watch it for any semblance of character development, really. I just kind of want to see the action. And I also want to see it because Edinburgh's in it, so...
Oh, they film in Edinburgh, do they? Oh, France! That was ages ago.
Yeah, they filmed it in Edinburgh because they filmed right outside where I was staying. They filmed right outside my flat.
I remember that because there was down Bread Street.
Yeah, down Bread Street. Nearly crashed.
I forgot about that.
Scaffolding at the Hilton. It was amazing.
I forgot that because you filmed a crash happening or something, didn't you?
They're basically driving down the street, and they come up from the grass market, and they come down onto Bread Street towards down the wrong way down Bread Street because Bread Street's sort of a one-way street. Yeah, one-way street, so they're going the wrong way. But they come up over a lip. And it's a really sharp turn. They're doing it in this truck, and I'm like thinking, that's gonna be an interesting experience. And then they missed that. But I don't think what they were counting on was that they probably scoped that street out maybe 6 months before.
Yeah.
A year, something like that. Cut to the filming, and the hotel across the road still had its scaffolding up.
Oh.
So it was the truck was supposed to hit this pavement to create like a sort of wobble effect. To sort of look like it's swerving to probably avoid a CGI car or something maybe. But they had to like build an on-ramp to the pavement as well because the curbs are so deep in Edinburgh.
Oh, in Edinburgh because it's old school, yeah.
A pickup truck arrived. No joke, the guys kind of looked at it, they went, right, we're going to build a ramp here. 5 minutes later, the guys turn up in an American pickup truck with wood, drills, the whole B&Q in the back of it, and built a ramp in the space of like 3 minutes.
That's amazing.
And it was kind of like, oh, guys, got skirting boards up here. They put up, like, get up here now. And then the truck comes down, and of course, they hit this pavement, and I was just sitting watching, thinking, Christ, they're gonna hit that scaffolding. I mean, it would have looked amazing if they'd hit the scaffolding.
But then that wasn't meant to be there, was it?
It would have meant. I don't think they were counting on that scaffolding still being there.
Yeah.
Because it looked like where they were planning on hitting, they would have wanted a bit more space.
But then Edinburgh is just one big scaffolding, isn't it? They're always trying
scaffolding
to fix
on roadworks
because it's so old.
They're driving through Fast and Furious in Edinburgh. It doesn't really work because it's all 20-mile-an-hour zones.
It's the one thing that was inaccurate about, was it Forza that had Edinburgh? It was like there was no scaffolding anywhere, and there was no police. The police are everywhere.
No,
You can
there's
have
not nearly enough traffic, and the trams are on the wrong side of the road in Forza.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
really annoys me. Of all the things that Forza does well, and the
Yeah.
guy that runs this studio is a Scottish studio head. The tram goes on the wrong side of the road.
That's weird.
So the trams go on the right, like are going towards the airport on the right instead of on the left. That really makes me, for whatever reason, that makes me
Pisses you
annoyed.
off, does it?
I don't know. I just feel like it's one of these things that you go for like all this beautiful detail and they recreate
Yeah.
this world, and it's just like trams on the right. It's like, come on, man.
Come on, dude.
Nice.
Nice. So that was
Give me a
Fast
job,
9.
Forza. I'll fix it.
Fast 9 looks good. We'll probably go and see it.
Yeah.
They go to space as
Oh
well,
yeah, they go to
which
space.
was predicted,
Maybe.
I think. Like, what next can we do other than a flying car? You have to go to space.
I think someone said that there should be a crossover with what are they? Universal, right?
Yeah.
What else does Universal own? They said they should cross
Shrek.
over with something. I can't remember what it was. Was that?
Not Shrek. What's in
Not Shrek.
Universal Studios in Florida? I'm just trying to think.
There's something that they said.
Harry
they should
Potter. Is that Universal? That's Warner Brothers.
No, there was something they said that they should cross over with. It was like zombies and then like something else.
That'd be cool.
Jaws.
Jaws.
Yeah, something like that.
Fast 9 and Jaws.
Fast 9 and Jaws, yeah. I'm sure there was something I need to think about it.
Moving on just briefly to probably the quickest piece of news that we've ever encountered in our lives.
Yeah.
The European Super League was a thing for about 2 days last week.
It was about 2 days. It's not really worth talking about.
It's not worth talking about, but I think it's worth mentioning of the whole UK football community, maybe just the Premier League community, went absolutely ballistic for 2 days because 12 teams in Europe decided that they wanted to branch off and make a Super League.
Make an NFL. Yeah.
Make an NFL with no demotion, no relegation, and no.
It was no relegation for the founding teams.
Right. Okay. That's even worse.
Yeah, because they said every year they would invite 5 people to play to make the league up to 20.
I see. Yeah.
Or because they were adding a couple more, 3 more, and then 5.
Yeah.
5
Long story
people every
short,
year.
the 6 big teams. I say this in inverted commas because Tottenham. We hate Tottenham.
It's Tottenham.
Yeah, it's Tottenham. Did they really need to be in that Super League? Do they if you think about the league right now, top 6 are Man City, Man United, West Ham,
Chelsea,
and
Leicester?
Villa? No.
Villa,
Leicester and maybe Villa are 6th or something.
Maybe.
Or maybe Spurs and Arsenal are in there somewhere.
We'll get crucified for that because
We'll get that wrong.
Absolutely
Yeah.
wrong. We could just look it up.
We could just look it up, actually, yeah. Bear with us, I'll edit this out.
We'll edit this out.
Where's the fucking... There it is. Okay, got it. Top 6 right now. Man City, Man United, Leicester, Chelsea, West Ham, Liverpool. So, Spurs and Arsenal were going to be in this Super League, is that right?
Yes.
They're not even in the top 6.
No.
So, justify that, please. Anyway, long story short, I think, who pulled out first? Liverpool pulled out.
Whose pull-out game was the strongest?
Who pulled out quickest?
Who pulled out quickest?
I think Boehner said it was the pull-out game he doesn't agree with, or he does agree with, or something. Long story short, our 6 teams pulled out, and the Super League basically got cancelled, apparently. So that's not happening, and we're all happy for it, because hopefully the Champions League keeps going, and I'm actually looking forward to potentially having West Ham in the Champions League.
Fun times.
If they keep
Look what happens when we miss a week.
I know, right? Heaps of news.
What happens when we miss a week?
What else are we talking about? Shang-Chi trailer came out.
Another Marvel thing. I'm always getting sick of superheroes. I never thought I'd say that.
It's weird, right? Because we try not to make this a Marvel podcast, and it's not a Marvel podcast. It's just things that are happening that we find class, and it just so happens that Marvel are just raking it out again.
It's weird because like you think about like for example Star Wars, right? it's like once every like they take time in between each one. They've only got 1 or 2 shows that they go, and that
Yeah.
makes it better. And you're kind of like, all right, okay, now I'm kind of keen for that. Whereas this like every time we finish a Marvel series at the moment, there's another one just like right around the corner. You're
I
like,
know.
oh,
And the reason I
okay.
think they did this trailer drop was because Falcon and Winter Soldier finished this week,
Yeah,
and it's now the longest period we have without an
a main
MCU
film.
thing happening. I think there's like 7 weeks
Oh, really?
before Loki starts. So at least for the next 7 episodes, we won't have any Marvel things to talk about, which is fine.
Oh no.
It'll be a
Oh
nice
no.
little
We'll have to
breath of
create
fresh air.
content.
I know, what are
Shit.
we going to talk about? But yeah, Shang-Chi, it kind of, I haven't really looked it up. It's the first Marvel thing that I've seen that I don't want to know anything else. I'm kind of intrigued, and it's very like, I don't know who the director is, but it's that sort of Chinese martial arts direction. You know how it's all wires and it looks
You
a
mean
bit
wire fu?
anime. Maybe,
Oh,
yeah.
wire fu.
The guy that did the Crouching Tiger stuff.
Yeah, Chow Yun Fat. Yeah, so it's kind of Shang-Chi is basically I guess Eastern superhero.
Yeah.
The guy that plays him is actually, I'm pretty sure he Simu. I don't know how to pronounce his name off the top. It's Lucy. Well, it's pronounced like Lu, so it must be Simu Liu.
Simu Liu, yeah.
Liu or Lu. He's Canadian.
He is Canadian.
He's not, but he's obviously of Chinese heritage,
Yes.
and they're basically. Do you remember Iron Fist?
He emigrated from China at the age of 5.
Yeah, there you go. So
and raised in Ontario.
So remember Iron Fist?
Iron Fist.
Remember the TV show Iron Fist on
unfortunately.
Netflix? So
That's such a terrible.
Kind of like it's that kind of like combat. It's like it's all about.
But hopefully better, because Iron Fist was hot garbage, which I think we should add to our rankings of, rather than saying something is ass, it should be hot garbage, fine, or class.
Hot garbage, hot in the dumpster.
Yes, get it in the bin.
It's got. I'm trying to see who's in it, but I mean, there's a character in this called Razor Fist, which sounds amazing.
It sounds like Taserface.
Taserface. I don't know too much about it.
No,
but I do know that he fights. There are obviously the 10 Rings is probably the Mandarin.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because it's the same thing from Iron Man 3, but it wasn't. Who's that British actor that played the Mandarin?
Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley. Great. That was probably the one thing of Iron Man 3 that I loved, was that reveal. That
I
he was
absolutely hated that.
My name's Trevor.
It was funny. Like, it was funny, but I hated the fact that they ruined what was a really interesting character, and then you were like, hi, my name's Trevor, and you're like,
I'm
that's
just an
funny,
actor.
but I also hate you.
Yeah.
like,
it was a weird thing for Marvel to do, because I think for people that knew who the Mandarin was from the comics, it was such a...
he's like, it's his Joker. Like, it's literally the guy, like, in the comics, is the guy that, like, imprisons him or whatever. Like, it's like his arch nemesis, and they were just like, hi, my name's Trevor. It was so bad that they had to make a small, like, 5-10 minute 10-minute one shot to put on the DVD of one of the Blu-rays called which is when a guy goes to interview Trevor in the prison.
Yeah.
And this guy's interviewing Trevor, and then he says, so you think like impersonating the Mandarin was like funny? And he's like, well, I was just doing what I was told. And then all of a sudden the guy presses a button on the big camera that they've got for videotaping, and the inside of the camera turns into a gun, and he pulls out the gun and he kills all the the prison guards. And he turns the gun to Trevor and says, the Mandarin would like a word.
Oh, that's cool. So Guy Ritchie... not Guy Ritchie, Guy Pearce wasn't actually the Mandarin.
No, it's kind of basically they were like, the real Mandarin would never be seen dead doing what you did, you muppet. Yeah. And now you pissed the real Mandarin off, so...
And now we found out that the Mandarin might be Chinese. Or
he was always from that part of the world, though I couldn't tell you what country he was from. But he was always...
Does he speak Mandarin? Hey, is that a pun?
Is that a pun? I don't know. Maybe he does. Who knows?
Nice.
But yeah, it looks fun.
It does look fun. I don't want to know anything else about it until it comes out.
No, but wait till the second trailer when it spoils everything.
I don't think I'll watch the second trailer. I think I
No, I mean
kind of
like
want to leave it.
when this. Yeah, I'm just trying to avoid it completely.
3rd of September is when it's released.
Oh, that should be fun then. That'll be good.
Yeah.
What else happened? You were just looking at a tweet that I sent you of the walking Groot.
Yeah,
All of a sudden we're talking about like things that we think in our heads and you imagine. Ever since Optimus Prime last week, and now Groot's up and walking about.
Yeah, there's a weird. If we'll try and I don't know how you can try and find it. We'll try and retweet it on our Twitter, which you can find. That's class
thing, and then
that's class pod.
There. Yeah,
that's
class pod.
It's a small robot that looks like Groot, and it blinks and walks and smiles.
And it's made by Disney, and they're going to have it walk around the park.
No way.
Waving. Yeah, it's made. That's not a private company. That's made by Disney's Imagineers, and they're going to like make it, and then they're going to make it walk around the park.
France.
Waving at people.
That's insane. I didn't know that actually. That's quite mental. I need to.
Yeah,
I need to
go around
text.
the Guardians of the Galaxy.
And I'm going to send this to my sister. She's going to freak out.
It's like it's legit going to Disney.
What better
Disney
reason
Park,
to go
like
back
Orlando.
to Orlando? Disney World. That's good. That's a good little bit of news.
It's kind of fun. But is it everything you think about as a child is just becoming real now?
Yeah. And more exciting news for me, just because I've just seen you type this out. Battlefield.
Yeah.
Is Battlefield back?
Battlefield 6 is coming this Christmas, people believe. They sent out a tweet basically saying that I actually got a notification that said Battlefield tweets, so I clicked on it and it said this tweet has sensitive information. I was like, all right, clicked it and it was like just the Battlefield logo and it says soon TM.
That's awesome.
So they're
have they trademarked the word soon?
No, I think they just put TM over soon. I did think it was funny though. So it's Battlefield 6 maybe around Christmas. I think they're aiming to scalp the next Call of Duty.
Yeah.
It's going to be 64 and 64. Because of the new Xbox. Well, the Battlefield 5 is currently 32 players versus 32.
I see. 64
and then
players.
there's 64 players versus 64. So you've got 128 people on the map at once.
France.
Will
it be cross-platformed? This might be my entry back into playing with you guys online.
It may or may not be cross-platform. That is a good question. But what I do know is that you'll only be able to play it on next-gen consoles.
Ah, balls.
Because it's so massive.
I'm going to have to get a PlayStation 5.
Oh, you just get a Series X. Like
that thing looks ridiculous. Have you seen the PlayStation 5 looks like a tap from a pub?
I've never heard that, but yeah, it looks like a
It's the display that you see.
Peroni tap.
Yeah, it's a Peroni tap.
Do you know what else it looks like? And we'll get into this, right? It also looks like Captain America's new armor.
Oh my god, it does.
He looks like a PS5.
That's amazing. Someone should do a Photoshop of that, of just Falcon coming in his new Captain America, but instead of the new Captain America, they've just Photoshopped a PlayStation on him.
Massive spoiler alert. We'll flip a spoiler
Oh yeah,
alert
massive spoiler. Nice. That'd be cool. I'm excited. Like, my life is quite difficult to play games now. It's really annoying because I'm so busy.
Being an adult, Rory.
Yeah, I know.
Nothing new.
I was young and I had no money. I had no disposable income to buy whatever game. I had all the time in the world to play games. And now that I'm an adult, I have disposable income and no time.
And no time. It sucks. It sucks. And then you look outside and you're like, I spend all my week inside and now I want to go outside, but I also want to play Battlefield.
Exactly. Back.
So
yeah, I think even at Christmas time, I won't even be in the country. Fingers crossed. Touch wood.
Scrambling around trying to find a power socket in the beach somewhere to play.
No, just going like in every shop in Sri Lanka and being like, do you guys have a PlayStation 5?
Yeah. Please.
Maybe. I don't know.
They're all talking about it.
Nice. What else have we got? You wanted to talk about Resident Evil Village.
Oh, I was just saying that Resident Evil Village had a demo out. If anyone plays Resident Evil,
not a massive fan. I've never been a massive fan of scary movies.
Fair enough.
And probably the scariest game I ever played was probably The Last of Us. And that was
That's
more
pretty tough.
intense
It was
than
intense.
scary.
I think I've played I played a couple of Resident Evils. They're good. Some of the older ones were good fun in co-op, like split screen co-op,
Oh, cool.
and then the new ones, 7 or 8. This is 8. No, yeah, 7, 8, and now next one 9 are all first person. And it's definitely a lot more terrifying.
Mm.
It's cool. They've got a demo. I think it's like a 20-minute demo or something that people can go play.
Yeah.
And meet the villainess.
Oh, the really tall witch.
Yeah, the really tall vampire witch woman that's sending all the, as to quote the internet, sending all them into horny jail.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, she's
Why
like
do they-
8 foot tall, and they've basically like sculpted her like a female version of David.
Oh God.
So
Why do the people of the internet do this? She's a
No.
she's a
Well,
made up
Capcom,
fictional character. It's like back in the day when you were like in the 90s playing a Tomb
Lara
Raider.
Croft.
Yeah. And you were like,
Get out of my head.
oh, look at those pointy breasts.
Look at those pixels.
Nice. I probably won't play it. Resident Evil's never really been a thing I've been into. I don't really know the story or anything, so that's fine. Moving on. Moving on
right.
actually to a piece of news that I want to talk to you about.
Yeah.
I have been raving about Invincible.
Okay.
And I think next week's episode because it's the finale, so we're gonna really talk about it next week.
Talk about it a bit more, yeah.
But you've not seen it yet, but the penultimate episode came out on Friday, and it was, in my opinion, probably one of the strongest episodes that's happened so far. Your thoughts?
So up until now, I've watched Invincible. You talked about it previously, and I watched it. I watched the first episode. I thought, okay, that's a cool twist. And then I watched a couple other episodes, and the whole superhero, the whole Omni-Man thing, that's cool. The superhero bit, that's cool. It's actually let down by the Mark character, the character of Mark. He never seems to learn his, there's no character development for Mark. Mark is going nowhere apart from when he's invincible, when he's the superhero character. When it's just genuinely, if you think about it, he spends 3 episodes doing the exact same shtick, always being late for things, and every episode he never actually they don't develop his character or do anything. And it feels like one of the cool characters was that demon detective guy. Can't remember his name.
Yeah, he was
cool, and they got rid of him. And I'm like, we're gonna talk about this now. So spoilers, everybody.
Yeah.
So the whole Omni-Man thing, that was cool. Good twist. Okay.
Very cool twist.
That was like going. Evil Omni-Man.
Yeah.
Cut price Justice League got their.
But what I like about it is
desserts.
For the whole series, for me, granted, I guess Invincible and Mark Grayson is the main character.
Yeah.
And I get your point. Like, he's not been the one I've been that invested in. It's been more about the B plot of why did he do this? And so like it's not a who done it, it's a why done it. And
exactly.
In the words of Captain Raymond Holt from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, it's a who has done this?
Who has done this?
Rather than a who done it.
Absolutely. And it's a cool show, and it's good. I think it will get better. But there was episodes where it's just like you've got all these subplots for no, either have them or resolve them or don't.
Yeah.
He literally does the same thing 4 or 5 times. You're like, And one of the episodes, he goes to freaking Mars for 2 weeks, and it's just like, you bought the Mars episode felt weird. You're just like, what?
I mean, I guess there's certain episodes like that kind of show you how he learns how to mature almost as a superhero and how to fight his battles, and then he gets his ass handed to him by a lion.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was cool. But then what really annoyed me was that although the first episode, basically all of the Guardians died, you had this huge fight where 3 of them were put into hospital, but none of them died. They all recovered.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was genuinely actually like, oh, cool. we're now losing more characters, and there are stakes in this.
Yeah.
But then the black guy who didn't have any powers, he now has powers because he got the shit beaten out of him. Monster
What?
Girl is in hospital. Oh, this might be in the episode that you've not seen.
Yeah.
So he gets out of hospital, he's fine, and he got his powers back. And Monster Girl is still in hospital.
Not how
And
this works.
there's this second plot,
Yeah.
B plot, C plot, about Robot. And
I've seen that clip. That clip got spoiled for me on YouTube.
Oh, did it? Okay.
I saw it and I was just like, all right, okay, I'll click it. Screw it.
Yeah,
See what
so
happens.
Robot has basically been using the two blue twins
The blue twins to make himself a
boy.
He's Pinocchio.
Yeah, because
He's Pinocchio. Let's call it what it is.
Robot is actually a human, but like a fucked up human with a really good brain. And he's like made this egg of fluid that he sort of sits in, kind of like Crank from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And he basically gets his brain transferred into this new body and then kills the little thing. So he is a clone, but he kills his original. So that they're not thinking who's the original, although it's pretty obvious because one looks like a dropped ice cream. And
dropped ice cream.
And it's pretty dark. It's pretty dark. What I was really disappointed about is that they changed the voice, so they're no longer using
Zachary Quinto.
Although I kind of hope that, although he's a human now, he still uses Robot for fighting, because obviously Robot is a robot and he must be better at fighting than a human.
You would think so. He's not also turned into a giant garbage truck.
Zachary Quinto stays,
Yeah, I don't know where the show's kind of going. I just think it's I was watching the middle bit so far. I was just sitting there. I was like, "This is meh." Like,
it's interesting you say that.
It could get better.
Although the action and Mark's story is meh, I was still really intrigued by why has Omni-Man done this? When is he going to get found out? It was still kind of intriguing to me to keep watching.
I like the plot. Yeah, that bit I like, but it's kind of like for over 40, because these episodes are like 45, 50 minutes long.
Yeah.
You're like, there's a whole lot of just nothing happening in between. And basically they leave all the cool Omni-Man shit till the end of the episode, which is what you would do. Yeah. And you like have to sit through, you basically watch the first 10, apart from the one where like there's a couple of good fight scenes and stuff, and that's cool. And then you're basically sitting through like, throughout an entire episode, you're maybe sitting through 25 minutes of just nonsense that isn't needed.
If you watch episode 7, which is the one that you haven't seen yet, like I said at the start of this, it is one of the strongest episodes in the whole series. It is straight out of, it comes straight back from when his wife is basically like, I know what you did.
Oh yeah, when she finds the book.
Yeah. She finds the book, she finds the suit, it's all covered in blood, she gets it scanned by Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
And which is great, by the way. I love that Mark Hamill's just discreetly in there.
Yeah.
And it just goes off. Basically, this whole episode is Omni-Man is trying to find Mark, but also so is Cecil, who's the FBI guy.
Yeah.
Cecil, I think, is one of my favorite characters. He's such a wicked dude.
Yeah.
He's class. And it's just this cat and mouse thing from this whole episode, cool. And it is so intense throughout the whole episode. It's amazing. And then there's a classic fight at the end and stuff, and you're just like, fuck. I genuinely thought it was the finale. Like, that's how well it ended.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
And it's the first episode without a post. You know how it like ends, but there's like a credit scene?
Yeah.
It's the first episode without one. So that's why I thought it was the end. And I was like, what?
Oh, it's so sudden.
So I had to go into Twitter and be like, is there one more?
Yeah.
And there's one more.
Oh, that's good. That's cool. Oh,
so yeah, if those of you that haven't managed to get into, or you've not even watched Invincible yet, I implore you to log on, like go for a Amazon Prime 30-day free trial and watch all 8 episodes from Friday, binge it if you can, and then delete your subscription, because I think it's good. I really like it, and it's nice to have almost like a superhero thing that isn't Marvel or DC that I'm actually kind of into.
This is true.
That is made a nice little world.
That is true. That is a very rare occurrence. if it's not Marvel and DC. But speaking of Marvel or DC, Rory, well, we may as well cover this.
Nice. Another fantastic segue.
Getting good at this.
We'll need to call that
Finally.
something like a dunkway or a
Dunkway.
I don't know, segue.
We'll
Do you have
work
any
it out.
nicknames, Duncan?
I don't know. We'll work
Anyway,
it out.
we'll work on that.
Right. Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Or as they said it, did you notice this at the end of the
spoilers. Anybody don't want to
heavy spoilers before we go in.
Yeah.
If you've not seen it, pause the episode, come back, play the episode.
In fact, no, close the episode, come back, watch it again, and we'll get another listen.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. So at the very, very end, rather than it saying Marvel presents Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it changed it to Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
That was very cool, and quite very so, because they're now developing a 4th Captain America film with Anthony Mackie.
That's awesome. And genuinely, I didn't think I would be this stoked about having Anthony Mackie as Captain America. I love it.
So, to review the series, yes. I thought to myself, Anthony Mackie, right, never met Anthony Mackie, seems like a pretty nice guy, but he has been in some absolutely kind of meh stuff recently.
Yeah.
Right? So he was in Altered Carbon Season 2, which was nowhere near as good as Season 1. It was so bad that they cancelled Altered Carbon, probably because not as many people, like, not only were they probably already going to cancel it because it's Netflix, but it was just really badly written, which isn't his fault, but it was meh. I think he was also in a Netflix film recently about a cyborg that didn't get great reviews.
Really?
A cyborg super soldier or something. And
that's fitting.
I did worry that we hadn't seen enough of Anthony Mackie to see him actually carry a character, because we'd only ever seen him as like a sidekick, essentially.
Yeah.
But it kind of got to the end, and you see him fight. Throughout the series, we've seen him slowly evolve. But you get to the end, and he does his speech and stuff, and you're right. You're kind of, oh yeah, okay, I can buy this for a while. I can't buy him in that suit though, but I could get him.
Yeah, not a massive fan of the suit. The speech was very inspiring and very relevant to, I think, America and even the world nowadays as well.
Absolutely. And this is where I come back to, I think we've discussed this, I don't know if on the podcast, we definitely discussed it, where...
Off air, where it doesn't count.
Or maybe off air, where Anthony Mackie's character...
Yeah.
And this is actually a criticism of the show as a whole before we get into the criticisms of this. So let's talk about the positives, right? So Anthony Mackie is really good. I really enjoyed seeing George St. Pierre back again.
Yeah.
As Bashok, because
he's a great guy.
He's actually a legitimate, like, a legit killer. Like, he could probably hand-to-hand combat most of the people on the set in real life.
Yeah.
So a legitimate, like, fighter. And obviously, it must be great having him because he can do all his own stunts.
Yeah, he is a martial artist.
Yeah, former welterweight and middleweight champion of the world. Imagine being captain. Like, imagine being when Sam fights George St. Pierre or Bashok, right?
Yeah.
Imagine how funny that must be for George St. Pierre thinking, this guy's played Captain America. I could literally kick the ever living shit out of him.
I think it was in the finale where there was just a couple. It was a great finale, but there were things that I noticed more than usual. Was when Anthony Mackie was doing his fight scenes as Captain America. Yeah. Which, again, I love how they've changed his fighting style now that he has a shield and wings.
Yeah.
But there was a scene where he was evading someone. He was fighting someone.
Carly, when he's doing the flips.
He was doing these flips, right? And then there's a part of the scene where he flips, and it is a straight-on shot of his face, and it's not Anthony Mackie. And then he goes to move, and they change the scene, and it is him. And it's just so good. And then another one that I didn't like was literally before he makes the Captain America speech to all the senators. Yeah. He flies down, and it's a straight-on shot. He flies down, and then the wings come into his back. Yeah. That looked so bad CGI wise. It was like composited JPEG that kind of went. That's the only thing that I can criticize on that episode. Everything else is pretty darn good.
I'll tell you, there's a couple. I'm going to be quite critical of it because I think that we should stop giving Marvel passes for
Here's the question, Duncan.
doing some things. Okay.
Did they stick the landing?
They got one leg on the mat.
You're looking for the word no.
No, they got one leg on the mat.
They got one leg on the mat and possibly rolled their ankle.
Probably rolled their ankle a little bit. That'd be the way to describe it. Because so there's so many things. Like I'll go back to it's cool and it's great. If anyone hasn't seen it, it's a cool show. You'll get a lot out of it. It's thoroughly entertaining. It's been Friday night entertainment for us in this house for 6 weeks, and it's been pretty good. It's obviously high production value. Great show. I like Anthony Mackie as Captain America. Bucky as Winter Soldier. Sebastian Stan, brilliant. I've always said from the start, there's a scene in the finale where he's chasing a helicopter.
That is an incredible scene.
Cool scene.
Very cool.
Scene.
Yeah.
Completely and utterly pointless. Pointless. Apart from showing what the wings can do, if you think about the way the finale is laid out, right, there's all these plots, right? And none of them get given any time because most of it is spent chasing a freaking helicopter.
Yeah.
There's so much more interesting stuff about this. It depends what you're watching the show for. Obviously, you've got to have the superhero stuff.
The action.
The action. Obviously, that's what we're tuning in for. But there's been so much, in my opinion, they've only had 6 episodes, they've only really had 6, not even 6 hours because it's only 50 minutes, but let's call it 6 hours, right?
Yeah.
There's been times where, like in the opening episode, there's like this whole big chase with George St. Pierre's Batroc and the helicopters and the planes, and it's super cool and it looks amazing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't help us with Sam Wilson becoming Captain America.
Yeah.
So if that was the transition, so it feels like that transition hasn't been, whilst it's been earned, it could have been so much better because I would love to have seen him do more stuff at the VA hospital where he supposedly worked.
You said that before.
Yeah, so I would just when he's talking to when he's talking to Carly, the mate villain for the first time, and he's kind of talking to her, and you realize that Sam's kind of making valid points.
Yeah.
Like, right now, I see. Like that was the first time I was like, okay, I quite like this. Is good. This is working out really well.
Yeah.
Then the speech at the final episode, but there hasn't been enough of that.
But even his final fight with Carly, he even does that sort of psychological. Tries to see her point of it.
Yeah,
and he even
absolutely.
says, we're fighting the same fight. I'm just, she's killing people.
We just needed more I think we needed more of that throughout the show, because ironically, the guy who was kind of posing all those questions was the villain, Baron Zemo. Or the anti-hero, I suppose. So it's kind of like, looking back on it, I think they wasted a lot of time and they could have done things a bit better.
Yeah, I did read that it was affected by COVID quite a lot. So so their filming had to be pretty rushed, I think, because there's a lot of questions. Like, what's her face? Agent Carter.
Definitely, 100% a Skrull.
A Skrull? Okay.
A Skrull. I am back. If I was a betting man, I would put a bet on that.
Okay, what is the date? Hold on. Date today is the 25th of April, 2021. 25th of April. Duncan says Agent Carter is a
Skrull. Because they've talked about Secret Invasion, they've talked about Secret War, they're calling the girl up at the end of WandaVision with the Skrulls. I think she could very well be a Skrull. I think because this is Peggy Carter's niece.
Yeah, why is she now a bad guy?
Captain America's wife. Why is she a bad guy?
Yeah.
Because the problem is with this show is that you've got the power broker, which, by the way, not a great reveal. Could have been somebody completely better.
They revealed it that she was the power broker. And genuinely I went, who was the power what?
They talked about
apparently they talked about her in a couple episodes and I just didn't clock it. It just went over my head. So when they revealed it, I was like, who's the power broker?
Yeah, it's kind of.
What did they do?
Like I said, that one didn't land for me because the whole thing the Power Broker was supposed to be this huge big villain that soaked up a lot of the crime and stuff like that, and it's it's Agent Carter, and you're like,
what? Yeah,
really? That's not to say that she couldn't be the power broker.
No,
That's not
it
what
was
we're
just the
saying.
way they
We're
did
saying
it.
is that the way they did it and the way that you kind of think about her character as like the shield agent, the shield agent that got burned, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if her character would stoop to
To
like
crime.
to like massive selling trade secrets unless she really is holding a grudge.
Yeah.
And
just the way that,
she's a scroll.
from my opinion, they didn't sell it enough to me. So, like, if they even mentioned the power broker, I'm still like, oh, Zemo's still in it, and there's an army of super soldiers. I'm interested in what's going on there. They've mentioned the power broker in passing, in my opinion, and then they've gone, Sharon is the power broker, and I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
What does the power broker do again?
It was very
sort
of underwhelming.
It was,
You've got US, right? So the other
US agent. I had to look him up on.
I like US agent.
Line.
I think US agent's a cool character. I think that Walker. I'm happy the guy Wyatt Russell's continuing to play US agent because he's cool.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy his character development of that because, like, the episode before, they're like, you're stripped of all your titles.
Correct.
Give us the shield back, and he was like, oh, he went off in a huff. And now he's just running around as a vigilante now?
I'll do one bit. Well, the problem is that the Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character hasn't been explained. So we don't actually know who she is.
That's Val, right?
Who she works for. What?
That's Val, the lady with the purple hair.
Yeah, De Fontaine.
Okay.
Yeah, Val, don't stop calling me that. She's obviously brilliant actress. Her character hasn't been explained properly. Apparently she's supposed to be in Black Widow, which we would already have had.
Oh, right, I see.
So it's kind of what. Remember, we were talking about a while back. We were talking about how the fact that this is all out of sync now.
Yeah, so reveals in this show might have been a bit heavier if we had seen Black Widow potentially.
I could be wrong. I was looking at I was on Forbidden Planet's sale page, and they're still trying to shift all some of their Black Widow merch. And one of the characters they're trying to shift is the Winter Soldier, a Black Widow Winter Soldier, and I'm like, the toys usually give, like all these things, the toys usually give stuff away.
So he's in the Black Widow movie.
Could entirely.
Well, I guess they're both Russian.
Well, they were both Russian. They're both around that time. So
Bucky's like 103. What did he say?
103, 106.
106.
So yeah, I just think there's all these things like he hasn't been explained, and like you say, Walker's character, he suddenly he goes from beating a guy to death with a shield.
Yeah.
Gets discharged. Then basically Bucky and Sam are like, all right, cool, come with us.
Yeah, right. That was weird for me.
Come on, bro.
He has a bit of redemption where he tries to save the truck of people, right? Rather than kill Carly. And I was like, fair enough, that's kind of his redemption. But then 5 minutes after that, Bucky's like patting him on the back and being like, come on, let's go and run together.
Lincoln, really?
Like,
it's kind of like, what?
Yeah. And I just thought that was really, really weird. And then when Val turns up and gives him the new suit and it's black and red, and I thought that line was very significant because it not only represented the suit, but also the new Captain America. He was like, it's the same, but black. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not the same. Like the color changes. Black, his new black suit represents almost that he's now a villain.
He is going to end up. He basically ends up a bit like the Punisher. So if you can imagine, that like U.S. agent kind of does the dirty work. Yeah, it's kind of more like, ironically, he's more like Isaiah Bradley, the old guy.
Okay.
Because remember how he got dumped behind enemy lines?
Yeah,
exactly like that.
Pretty
like
much
he's gonna be the guy that gets his hands dirty. That's why she's like, I don't need a Captain. I need a Captain America to go one way. I need the U.S. agent to kind of sweep up behind him. Yeah. He's basically like a cross between like the Punisher, Captain America, and the Winter Soldier.
Oh yeah,
something like that. So yeah, I think they stuck the landing, but they rolled their ankle.
Yeah, agreed.
And like, can we quickly talk about the fact his suit is just there's too much white.
There's so much white. Ironically, yeah. I thought because his suit originally is black and red, isn't it, or like grey and red?
Yeah, so blacky grey red. Yeah.
I genuinely thought they'd maybe just add a white star in the middle and a bit of blue, but they made him like the winter Captain America.
I feel like it's like he's like wearing a skin that you would get for like a DLC
Yeah.
skin that you.
Do you
Would,
know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Batman and Robin with Mr. Freeze. You know how they got like their Mr. Freeze suits where it was like silver and blue?
Yeah, silver and blue. Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. There's not almost like there's not enough. They've kept the Captain America chest. Right?
Yeah.
The red, yellow, where the red and white stripes are. But actually, the red and white should have been moved. I think he has a lot of white in his costume in the comics, but it does not translate well to that particular costume.
Yeah,
And
agreed.
I don't know how you fix it, because I'm not a costume designer, but I just feel like it needs more red almost up at the top half in the wing part, rather than like the red wings with the white star in the middle would have worked. Something like that. I don't know.
I think.
What about you? What do you think?
I think I wasn't a massive fan of how much white. I'm just looking it up right now. There's a lot less white than we anticipated, than we're talking about, really. When you think about
it. The jarringness of the white, I think, up like towards his neck.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot.
Because if I look it up now, it's... Where is it? There it is there. It's a blue suit with white accents. So it's that.
But see, that's the toy version. It looks way better in that than it does on the screen.
I genuinely think if they changed the white on his arms, his shoulders, and his mask in particular looks really weird, and changed it to just gunmetal or black, would have been sick. And yeah, I'm not a massive fan because of the white. I think if it was more all red, like wings wise, or all blue wings wise, it would look sick.
Well, that's interesting, because I'm looking at a picture right now of Captain Falcon, as I like to call him, and he's got
Captain Falcon.
What color is his gloves in the one photo you've got?
Red,
right? So he's red in the comic books. He's red on the arms, then blue, then white on the shoulders, and that. But his wings are bright red.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So that would look cool. It's just like say there's almost too much. It feels like there's too much white, but I wonder if that's because they were filming how it was filmed. It's a hard thing to film. Anyway,
that's
overall,
just the suit. It's fine.
Yeah, it's just I'm sure they can fix that every film anyway. So yes, I think they stuck the landing. I think it's good. I don't know. I think there's so many things that they could have done better, but
yeah.
It's kind of complaining for complaining's sake at times.
Exactly.
They wrapped it all up. What do you think?
I think it's, as a whole, it's pretty class.
Yeah.
In terms of our ranking,
I think it makes it into class in our ranking.
But what I want to ask you now is, where does it land? If you still have it, where does it land within your ranking?
I don't think I have it.
I mean, we could always track back to last week's episode. But I don't think so. I think we had it pretty similar.
It's middle of the road. I don't think it did. I don't think it did. It started off interesting. I think there was a lot of time wasted.
Yeah.
I think because of that, we could have had more. I think if they kind of hedged their bets along the way. I think because of that, they kind of didn't just go all in on one story.
Yeah.
And I think because of that, they've paid the price towards the end where they had like so many things to cover, and like you say, you're kind of like, wait, what
the hell is going on? Yeah.
So yeah, I think probably don't even know if it makes the top, maybe into the top 10. But I think that's recency bias. I don't think it makes the top 10.
Above or below WandaVision? What do you reckon?
I'm gonna say below WandaVision.
I'm gonna say that as well.
And I'm gonna say below. I think WandaVision was at least something different.
I think I am going to put it. This might be controversial to you. It's either going to be below or above Guardians 2. I think I'll put it above. So I'll go.
I think I'll put it above Guardians 2. It'll go above Guardians 2, but that is
So I'm going to go.
Where are you rating this?
Captain Falcon. I've kept my list from before. Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
So I now have it as Soldier. Spell Soldier right, Rory. I now have WandaVision at 11, Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier at 12. And then Guardians 2, Spider-Man Far From Home, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Things like that. So
Sounds about right. I think I wrote mine down. I think that's why I don't have it.
I think that's a good place to put it, because as a whole, it redeemed Bucky. Like, he now accepts that, like, that end scene with him and the
Old man.
Asian dad.
Yeah.
And,
the old man, yeah.
He said out loud, he was like, I am the Winter Soldier, not I was the Winter Soldier. He says, I am the Winter Soldier, and I had no choice. So he's almost, they've not changed his name or anything to like White Wolf or something. I like the fact that he's almost embracing the fact that he is now Winter Soldier, but he is a better version of himself. And now we've got Captain Falcon.
I agree. I think it, like I said, I think I like the end result.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I quite like how we got there.
Yeah.
The end result is great, and it, kind of apart from the power broker thing, I'm gonna double down. Like I said, I think that there's more to come from that.
Yeah.
Which would be good. But yeah, I think it's definitely, it was entertaining. It did its job. It got everybody where it needed to go.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think not just us, but like people need to stop giving Marvel a pass.
Yeah, exactly.
For things.
Think because the likes of our lower ranked movies like Black Panther and Captain Marvel, I think got critical acclaim because of
other things.
Yeah, because of other things. As a movie and a storytelling medium,
there's plot holes and stuff that don't make it as good.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're being critical of it, then you start to analyze it. You're like, right, okay, I'm being really, like, what are the flaws? You get, well, I can't put that up there because of X. Right.
And I think it's about time Marvel had another, or they're probably gearing up, or they're getting to another flop, I think, of the Thor movies.
I hope it's not Thor: Love and Thunder. Luckily, I think like,
I have faith in Taika Waititi.
We talked about segueing. Right, here's the full loop around.
Oh,
back
nice.
To Shang-Chi, right? There's something new and different.
Yeah.
And finally, it's like that. I think that'll do quite well because it's something we've not seen yet. It's the same principle as like Doctor Strange, right? All right, okay, that's kind of cool.
I wonder if people are getting slightly bored with how long it's taken to get all these characters that we've known for ages and getting their second movie, their third movie. And the fact that Shang-Chi is coming out and Black Widow, and we finally have a Black Widow movie coming out, I think people will be excited for that. Yeah. And then it's just like another Spider-Man movie, which granted might be good, but like...
That's what I'm saying, there's a bit of fatigue.
Bit of fatigue in the characters almost.
They could have done with actually taking like a year, 2 years off.
Yeah.
And...
COVID might have been a good thing.
I think it would have been. I think people would be like, the next, like, film them all.
Yeah.
Like, film them all. Continue filming, but then kind of go, right, boom, here we go. 2 years later, let's go.
I think they've done well with almost finishing the 10-year anniversary Marvel 3 phases. And now introducing these new characters, because I think we need new characters now.
Oh, we do. Yeah, 100%.
So yeah.
Fun times. Should we wrap it up? I think that's we're pushing close to our hour.
That'll do it for this week. If you want to contribute to any of the topics or anything that we've chatted about today, you can find us on all the socials under That's Class Pod, or what you can do is you can write to us on an email at it's that'sclasspod@gmail.com. I had my sister and her boyfriend tell me about their MCU rankings, and I was like, write to us and we'll talk about it. But they've not done it, so thanks, Steph.
But where do they stay? Is that
they live in Dorking? Bunch of dorks.
Dorks. Is that a real place?
It's like southwest of London, I think.
All right, okay. I was gonna say I was thinking they lived like abroad or something. I was like, well, either they live in the past or they live in the future. Yeah. We haven't got it yet.
But yeah, if you write to us, we'll probably put it in an episode. We'll talk about it. We like to have engagement with people that listen to the pod. So if you want to just give us a chat or give us a message, gmail.com Twitter or Instagram, anything like that would be sweet. You can also catch our faces on YouTube the following Wednesday. Gemma will be very excited for that. And you can also, I'll just delete that. That's crap. Make sure whatever you listen to or whatever you watch our podcast on, leave a like, leave a comment, share it with your friends, give us a 5-star review, a little thumbs up. Big thanks to Stuart Hosking for the intro music, and to all of you for listening. And we hope you enjoyed this episode and that you have a super day. Say goodbye, Duncan.
Goodbye, Duncan.
Nice.